Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'd now like to call upon Deputy Chief Myron Demkew to start today's event.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I'm joined by our colleagues, all of whom will take some time to speak briefly about what this project means in their areas of operation. To start, I'd like to give a little bit of background on the 5 core strategies that have been adopted by the Toronto Police Service when it comes to the integrated gun and gang efforts we engage in. The first is community mobilization, followed by opportunities provisions, social interventions, organizational change, and suppression and enforcement. The reality is, these 5 pillars cannot be treated as individual efforts. They do not operate in exclusive individual spheres. They operate together. While all these factors are important, suppression and enforcement is critical to overall public and community safety and absolutely relevant to enhancing the quality of life for all our residents in Toronto and indeed throughout Ontario. The Toronto Police will continue to employ a multifaceted and team approach to all gun and gang investigations, including large-scale projects, with the understanding of the social costs in our communities when dozens of police converge on a singular neighborhood. Instead, as will become clear when we explain Project Sunder in detail, our efforts this past year were done with minimal disruption to the majority of law-abiding residents. The warrants executed were based on detailed, evidence-based intelligence and executed with precision and extreme professionalism. Project Sunder itself started in September of 2019 when the Toronto Police Service's Integrated Gun and Gang Task Force started an investigation into an alleged criminal street gang known as the Eglinton West Crips. Early on, our intelligence led us to believe that members of the Eglinton West Crips and their associates were allegedly involved in numerous violent incidents and activities that had plagued our communities over the last 3 years. These incidents include murders, attempt murders, firearms occurrences, including reckless discharges, drug and human trafficking. We also allege that the Eglinton West Crips were involved in extensive gun and drug trafficking networks that spanned the province of Ontario. These networks are alleged to have trafficked large quantities of narcotics, specifically cocaine and fentanyl, to many communities outside the Greater Toronto Area as far away as Thunder Bay. It's further alleged, based on evidence gathered throughout the investigation, that the Eglinton West Crips operated as a coordinated criminal organization. Since the start of Project Sunder, there have been 141 search warrants executed in multiple jurisdictions, including Toronto and the regions of Peel, York, Halton, and Durham. Many arrests and search warrants have also been executed outside of the GTA, including in the jurisdictions of Orillia, Barrie, Gravenhurst, Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, North Bay, Kingston, Ottawa, Napanee, and Thunder Bay. To date, 114 individuals have been arrested, and once complete, approximately 800 charges will have been laid, including offenses related to participating in a criminal organization, firearm-related offenses, including unlawful possession of firearms, firearms trafficking and importation, charges in relation to illegal drug activity, including possession and trafficking, shootings, and additional weapons charges, and human trafficking offenses. Also seized as a result of this operation were the 31 firearms you see before you, including 4 overcapacity magazines, 7 kilograms of cocaine, 2 kilograms of fentanyl, 2 kilograms of crystal methamphetamine, as well as a host of other drugs, including heroin, Oxycontin, Percocets, and MDMA, and over $300,000 in Canadian currency. These firearms, we allege, were used in brazen shootings, and many were held by alleged drug dealers who had armed themselves for the purpose of establishing and maintaining control over the lucrative drug trade and in ongoing battles over territory. We are confident that with the assistance of our partner agencies, Project Sumter has significantly disrupted the criminal operations and hierarchy of the Eglinton West Crips gang. I'd like to acknowledge the outstanding work of the investigators of our Integrated Gun and Gang Task Force Major Projects Section, along with our other partner agencies. Each of these services contributed significantly with respect to personnel and resources. I'd like to thank them for their commitment to this operation and success, and quite frankly, we could not have done it without their support. I'd like to now call upon Chief Superintendent Mackey of the Ontario Provincial Police to comment further.